What's up, guys? 907 Piper. I'm going to be doing a first impression / review of Solani's aged Burley Flake. What's happening, guys? It's Jay here, 907 Piper, and I just did a Yabo, so I have all stuff around there, but I am pumped to try this. So this is a Solani's aged Burley Flake blend 656, made in the UK. This is a 50-gram tin. Quality of Solani. So on the back here, there's a tin art. It's pretty damn cool. Solani Burley Flake. High-class flake made of white burley, slowly burning with typical taste of licorice, offering a cool smoke. Flavoring is a hint of chocolate, cutting is a flake. So this is another manufactured by Kohlhaas Kopp and Company. I actually have a few tins from them. Well, I know they're distributed either through, I think it's, is it Left Baron? Is that Left, or sometimes it's a, anyway. So, this is what the flake looks like. Really pretty flake, really dark colored. I mentioned this in the last video, but when I first cracked it, the fresh tin note was pretty strong. It smelled kind of fermented, and it reminded me of shrimp cocktail sauce, like a dark, a little bit more, what's the word, complex ketchup kind of smell. And today it's not there anymore. It smells a lot more like cocoa, like chocolate. A little bit of a fruity tang, but mostly kind of that molasses chocolatey smell. So what I did is I cut them up into little flakes like this and stuck them all straight in my pipe. Like I said previously, I used to just rub all the flake out and then smoke that. So anyway, I'll get the bowl lit and we'll go from there. So for a long time, I used this style with for vapors, mainly because those are most of my flakes. Use it with this stem, but I've actually been throwing some burleys in here. So, off the light, while lighting it actually, I had some interesting flavors, in a good way. It was almost like citronella, and that might have been kind of the licorice profile getting lit. So it is burning fine now, but I probably would have let it sit longer. I probably only had it out for maybe 15 minutes, if that. So there was that kind of really interesting, almost like citronella, but kind of like a, I guess, licorice. It was reminiscent of, I got all the lizards coming up because of the rain. I'm trying to get droplets. Oh shit, 1 second. I had a bucket with some stuff that shouldn't be getting wet, and it got a little wet. See, on the relights, it's there. It's kind of, I think it's going to be that licorice flavor. And it's not bad. It's really pleasant. I just didn't know what it was. It almost smells like, if you ever had like air fresheners, like the gels for your truck, that smell kind of like a barber shop. But that's only on lighting. Pat, thinking you, man. I almost said soapy. If you happen to be watching this. And it's got this really good chocolate cocoa flavor. So I get that more than I actually do that other passing flavor of, like, I think which is considered licorice. And the white burley's there. I think that's what kind of gives it this edge. It's a little rough, but it's not what I would consider a rough tobacco. Gotta get it kind of burning in that sweet spot, and you get this really nice subtle chocolatey flavor. It's not like over powerful like a chocolate Cavendish or something like that. Really smooth on the retro hill, and that's where you're gonna get more of that chocolate flavor. So immediately I'm thinking of the Wessex, because that's the only other Burley Flake that I've tried. And the Burley Flake, the Wessex Burley Flake, has more of kind of that licorice taste that settles into almost a walnutty, mapley sweetness. And this is probably more, I'm getting more of that licorice taste come in, and it's really good. I think I'm finding I'm really liking the anise and licorice flavored stuff. But it's got this nice chocolate undertones that just sweetens it up a little bit, kind of like dark chocolate or baker's chocolate, where it's not sweet. And it's this weird, maybe not weird, maybe it's just more complex, because I think the Wessex is a little bit more stable. So maybe it's not something essence. It's not a bad thing at all. I'm just trying to figure out why this is so pleasant. I'm also trying to figure out what it tastes like. I'm trying to pinpoint it. Getting a little of a gurgle. I think my pack was not on point. Every time I'm thinking that I would like this to be a smoother blend, I get these really nice flavors of kind of this subdued licorice and chocolate, this round chocolate flavor that really brings it together. And it's just there. They're right. It's subtle. A hint of chocolate. Like you're expecting it to be sweeter, and while you're chasing that flavor, it rounds out to this really nice smooth smoke. But as getting a little bit of a bite. I didn't clean my stem from the last couple of smokes, so that's probably why. But I'm getting earthy, kind of the light must, but nothing super strong. There's definitely stronger burleys out there that are earthier. Like I think of like Haunted Bookshop. That's like some chocolate, but it's like musty, dusty, sawdusty burley, but in a good way. Like it's a good flavor profile, and I really enjoy it. Like I want to say I love Haunted Bookshop, but it kicks my ass. Like you gotta be careful with that one. Anyway, there we go. Excuse my bad pipe hygiene. I should have cleaned it. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna come back. I might not do each third. I might just come back at the last part of it, because although it's got these kind of what I would consider complexities, it's not changing a lot. So we'll see. But I'll be back in a bit. All right, guys. So I finished a bowl of the Solani aged Burley Flake. I think it was a mixture of, it was still a little fresh. I probably should have let it air out for like an hour. And also, when I packed it, I was trying to get stuff in, so I kind of twisted it. I don't think I got a super clean pack. So the last third of the bowl was kind of fighting me. I had to do relights, and I had to get in there and move the dial around a little bit. So that was one thing with the Wessex, and it might have been just really good packing, but it burnt pretty much all the way through. So this one I had to fiddle with a little bit, but the flavor was pretty consistent. Towards the end, it did get a little bit hot and a little bit more perfumey, a little bit more floral. So I got more notes of like fig, passing notes of fig, and like chocolate covered raisins, which is really good. And that consistent, subtle, rounded chocolate note, which was honestly was really delicious. And I figured out the smell. So in the beginning, I was trying to place a smell or a taste, and it's a combination of like the sweetness, the earthiness, and a little bit of spice. But I figured out, if you ever smelled like an evergreen candle or a pine candle, where it's got kind of that deep, earthy, musty, piney smell with a little bit of sweetness, I think that's what I was tasting on the light. I had a couple of passing notes of that when I was relighting and repacking. So overall, I enjoyed that a lot. I'm glad I got 2 tins. It's you get that burley, so sometimes you get, once in a while I had kind of a cigarette taste, which is kind of typical for burleys, and then the room note was kind of cigarette ashy as well. So that was kind of typical of burley, but I felt like this was a good flake if you wanted something sweet, if you wanted a nice chocolatey kind of taste, but you have that robustness, the ruggedness of a flake, and you're not having like a super cased or super top drenched aromatic, which is fine. I have plenty of those I like, but if you want a rustic kind of flake tobacco that's not too strong, Nikkei was pretty mild. But yeah, I find with the burleys, I really have to pace myself, because there's a lot of really great tastes happening, and I keep pushing it, trying to taste it, so I sip it a little fast, so I was really working on my cadence. But other than that, I had a really good time with the Solani aged flake, so I do want to air these out. Next time I have a flake of this, I'll probably let it sit for maybe at least an hour, and go from there. But yeah, this is my review. Thanks for stopping by. I hope everything's going well. Take care, be safe. I love you guys. Smoke something good, and I'll catch you later.